This is why I be asking questions, because none of this add up. Is racism a crime? Racism itself is not a crime, but many actions motivated by racist beliefs are illegal. Okay, so what about being a racist? Is being racist a crime? In the US, being racist is not by itself a crime because the First Amendment protects it. That's crazy. Is being a racist illegal? Basically asking the same question in a different way. In the United States, merely being racist or holding racist beliefs is not illegal, as freedom of thought is protected. That's crazy. But doing so typically leads to harassment, violence, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so what if I say, is animal cruelty a crime? Yes, y'all tell me straight off the bat. Boom, animal cruelty is wrong. What about being a child predator? Yes, that's illegal. What about being a thief? Yep, that's illegal. You know what? What about being a rapist? Is that illegal? Yes, committing rape is a serious crime. Tell me real quick, what's the number one race for the hate crime? The African American people. Okay. So they the most hated people. Okay. Another thing on top of that, is sending hate mail illegal? So if I send hate mail, does that not express the freedom of speech? No, it says it's a true threat under the U.S. law, such as 18 U.S. Code. It's crazy. Why isn't racism a crime if rape is a crime? And it says that's a very good question. That points to the key distinction of in the law. Rape is always a crime because it is a specific violent act committed against an individual. In contrast, while racism is apparent, it is a set of beliefs and attitude. The law generally does not punish thoughts or belief. You see this shit right here? You know what? Is there a benefit to racism? No, there is no benefit to racism, as it causes extensive, documented harm to individuals and society. Okay. And then proceeds to tell me while racism has no benefit for society as a whole, it persists because it offers advantages to certain groups and individuals, often at the expense of others. And this happens through systematic structures that maintain racial hierarchies. That's crazy. So would I be wrong to say that the system is upholding racism? This is why I be asking questions, and I ask the same questions differently. It is a common misconception that the system is designed to actively support racism. However, systems can perpetuate racial inequalities through policies, practices, ideologies that have historical roots in discrimination. This phenomenon is known as systematic or structural racism, which exists independently of individual intent or conscious bias and can continue to disadvantage marginalized groups even after explicitly discriminatory laws are dismantled. And then it continues to tell me how the systems enable racism, how it's maintaining racism. You can't tell me I'm misconceited about something you're telling me is conceited on. But let's continue. Overlooking disparities, media portrayal. Key example of systematic racism. Systematic racism is observable in nearly every sector of society. In the criminal justice system, education system, housing, healthcare, employment. It's literally embedded in the fucking system. Media and culture causes colorblind ideology. I don't see color. Well, then, bitch, you don't see me. And you see that down at the bottom, that passism and denial, that right there. It even affects on a psychological basis, unconscious basis, in group out group mentality, which everybody really have. Everybody really fuck with their own So it's like a everybody thing. You most likely would link to your own than anybody else's. But anyway, it ain't racism. That's called patriotism. Maybe we get patriotism confused with racism, because when they do it, it's patriotic. When we do it, it's being a rebel. This is why I make videos like this, so I can spread awareness to people and let them know how racism is still very much alive in our system, and how we have to come together and change these laws that were built on top of racism, that are used now today to contain us and to control us, to destroy us, to separate us, to degrade us. Because whatever they did to black people is what they're going to do to the world. If the world would have helped stop this hate against black people, the world wouldn't experience the same type of hate that black people have experienced. Because now we sitting there like, we told you so. And y'all want black people to intervene, and we like, bruh, we needed you to intervene. And one thing we learned from you is to turn a blind eye. And I don't see no shit. I don't see color. I don't see nothing. Black people will stare you right there in your face and be Ray Charles. See nothing. And this time when I mean black, I mean people who ain't racist. Because that's pretty much, it's only the racist people that separate themselves from black people. And the only reason why we think black people look a specific way is because they divided black into multiple colors. And now we got black people, brown people, red people, orange people, yellow people, white people. And some of them, we all black people and watered down versions of each other. Or watered down versions of black. But the the real watered down people, the ones who want to separate themselves from everybody else. But they really couldn't do that without making everybody else feel separate themselves. And now they call themselves the majority and call us the minority, when truly you just separated the majority into different groups to create a minority. When you bring everybody back together, we become the majority. And that's why they don't want us to come together. They must try to separate us, keep us against each other, white against black. They want to keep this hate in the system so people can naturally, psychologically program themselves and their children to behave and repeat these cycles that is keeping the same shit repeating. No more. That world is being destroyed. That's the world that God is coming to destroy. I mean, racism is like it's like the wind. You feel it, you hear it. You can't see it, but you can see it blowing through the leaves. That's how you know it's there. Like, you can't see it, but you know it's there. It's in the system. And there's evidence of its presence. So, I mean, that's something we all can see. And people who choose not to see are just colorblind, which is what racism, people who say that I don't see color. If you saw my blackness, and when you say I see you, that means you accept me for who I am. When you say I don't see that about you, I don't see something, I don't see your blackness, even though it's my strength. It's what God made me with. How you not see me? You mean you don't see a point to hate me because of it? But see me. Don't tell me you don't see it. Acknowledge it. And tell me it don't bother you. But I know racism is a dumbass topic, but some dumbass created it, and now we gotta be talking about this dumb shit. And this dumb shit is in our system. I'm spreading awareness so we can get this shit out. Every single thing that they listed under a crime is all the crimes listed under racism: rape, molestation, discrimination, all hate. That is under racism. So how is racism not illegal? Racism is a psychological disorder. It is not a freedom of thought or speech. That's an illness.